Welcome to Truly Heal and our 2015 workshop tour. Now, many of you have asked what we will teach during those 2-day workshops that we have in New Zealand, Australia, Hawaii, United States and Canada. Well, the concept is very simple. Not the same as we did last year, because I made myself a big promise. I'm not going to teach the same talk every year and the same presentation. I rather move on, learn new things, implement new things, present in a new way so that we can learn more and a lot more convenient. So what we've done this year is actually build something really astounding that will make the life of every practitioner, of every cancer patient 100 times easier. Now, to do that, I would like to show you an image and a map that we will go through in all detail so that you know what we will teach and what you can learn at those workshops. But before we do that, let me just rattle the cage a little bit. I'm very upset about how cancer treatments in the alternative field are promoted. And you know, like, I made the movie Cancer is Curable Now and Truly Heal from Cancer. And as I put it out, I thought, wow, what great I've done for mankind. And the feedback is actually quite dubious because a lot of people are very skeptical about alternative medicine. Oh, you're one of those. And it really makes you wonder why, because it's all logical, and when you understand it, you say there is no other way, but because it's promoted so shabbily, so bad, that we've lost all credibility. And everybody knows that, who comes home with a diagnosis and then says to the family, I would like to treat my cancer alternatively. The whole family goes into uproar, and I've received massive amounts of call. How can you do that? And you're killing our mother or our child. And it's not an accepted way. And why is that so? Because there is a lot of hype, a lot of false information, a lot of dubious treatments promoted that everybody has seen, that people tried and still died. So that's not really right. And it's not really put out in a scientific way. It's very limited. And what we realized is a lot of clinics offer some parts of a treatment, but never ever the whole treatment. They really just focus on one or two things, and that's it. And if you fit into their program, one size fits all, if you fit into that program, then it's great. Lucky you. But 80% of the population who have different causes will just fall through the mesh. And then $30,000 later, oh, sorry, didn't work out. And that's it. So we need to come back to credibility. And that's what we've tried to do with Truly Heal, with our whole education program. And actually with this course this year, it's going to cover every aspect that is relevant. Now, I know I've written a 600-page book, and I don't have it here right now to show you, but I'll blend it in, with my wife, where we cover everything that is relevant. And then, when I look into it today, I go like, wow, forgot that one. And oh, that was relevant too. And gee, I should have talked about this with a client. And that's very easy. And I don't blame anybody. It's the same for me. It's too complex. Health is extremely complex, and we're easy in getting lost. And that's why I just came up with the idea of working through a very significant protocol that will allow not to forget anything and actually to find the true causes behind cancer and why it actually could stop you from getting well. There is many factors that prevent healing. Even though you do all the right things, but you still don't get well because you're lacking zinc or selenium, for example, or because your iodine levels are too low, or because you have an infection that nobody looks at. So taking care of all those factors is crucial. And that's what the program is all about. So let me just show you, as we go through, some of the features that it has. We can't cover it all. It will take us 2 days. It's 8 chapters. So as we go through, we cover 2 in the morning, then 2 in the afternoon, and then the other 4 the next day. And that will make it possible for you to see everything, and I'll show you now what. Let's just start with one subject where we look at everything. Now, hormones. We know that hormones are the messengers of life. They control pretty much every body function. They're related to digestion, to cell replication, to everything. So if the OAT axis or any kind of hormone gland is impaired or out of balance, your whole system is out of balance. And especially if you have a hormone-related cancer, that's crucial. You need to know about it. And that's what we do with this protocol. So when you look at certain issues, and let's just go into certain parts of it. For example, sex hormones, male, we have symptoms. Now, if we open up here the symptoms, you will see that there is a list. Now, that's very easy. As we go through, let's say you have prostate cancer, or you have testicle cancer, or female, when we open up the female part, there is ovarian cancer or breast cancer, then these are hormone-related cancers. And not to look for the hormone balance in your body would be a crime. And still it happens because about 60% of the clinics don't want to touch that because it's very complicated. Well, we've covered it here in great detail, and it makes it easy for everybody to use. So we go through the symptoms. Sorry for that. Then we go into causes. And that's more the educational factor, because let's just say you use or do things that destroy all your hormonal balance. Well, then the client needs to know. And that's the educational factor on how we can prevent that in future and change some lifestyle habits, some environmental habits, things that we use every day in order to prevent that. Then we look at tests. And you know, there is just simple tests that will show you exactly, and we've covered exactly what you do, how you do them. And if you click on that link, it opens up the protocol on how to test and what is important. And then you have treatments. Now, that's very logical. We focus on one particular problem in relationship to male sex hormones now, and they can be the whole problem already for a male to get out of balance. And that can be because of age, that can be because of lifestyle and all the different causes. And you can't forget it, and it's easy to process. And then we have the same for females, and again, symptoms, very long, and treatment. So as we go through, and let me zoom in a little bit closer that you can see a little bit clearer. Then we have the same for thyroid health. You know, symptoms for low thyroid, symptoms for high thyroid, then all the causes, then all the tests that are relevant, and then all the different treatments that are important to cover thyroid health. Now, thyroid is always related to adrenals. So if you have thyroid problems, you always need to look back at adrenal fatigue that could be triggering all your problems or deficiencies, and all of those things are covered in great detail. Adrenal hormones and pancreas. Now, that's something which is actually mandatory in our program for coaches and for health practitioners to work through with the patient and to cover that area and just to check, is that out of balance or not? If it is, it's very easy to correct, but if we don't look at it, it can actually prevent you from healing. And that's what we don't want. And then all the other money that you spend on all the treatments could be just wasted because you've ignored that fact. In the same thing, deficiencies. Let me just go back very short to adrenals and to hormones. I had a client who went to thyroid cancer, and they checked thyroid and they tested everything. They couldn't find anything wrong, and in the end she said the client is a little bit weird, it's very stressed, it's very freaked out, it's very, very difficult. I'm happy that she's leaving. Well, nobody ever looked at her adrenals. She was completely burned out, and because no one had looked at infections, they didn't discover that she had massive Lyme's disease. Now, Lyme's creates nervous problems, kills all the nervous functions. It actually causes joint pain, tinkling, and electric currents in the surface of the skin. So she was having all the symptoms of that, but nobody looked at it. They treated thyroid cancer and no treatment responded. Once we started to tackle the Lyme's disease with ozone and hypothermia and other things, all of a sudden her values got better, her body regenerated, and the tumor reduced, and all the cancer sites disappeared. So it's sometimes really looking for what is the trigger, and that's what we do with the program. I just covered deficiencies, and let me just show you very short. We have different deficiencies like enzymes. Do you know how many people are told to eat this diet or have raw vegan vegetarian, and then they lack all the amino acids, or they have not enough bile acid or to break down fats, and they eat tons of nuts and avocados and seeds with lots of fats, and they can't actually digest fat. And that can cause huge backlash, because then you get congested liver, your liver doesn't detoxify anymore, you have a build-up of toxins, you have dullness of the brain, can't think, are confused, have memory problems, just because you eat the wrong diet. Now that's why we look at all the deficiencies, we look at all the different functions, whether you eat in the right way so that you can break down your foods and actually absorb. Now, if you look at here the causes, they show exactly what it is, but I would like to show you very short here the scan. And if you do, let's say, a scan and everything is here on the negative side, well, then it shows that the patient has a massive assimilation problem. They don't take up certain minerals or most of the minerals, which means whatever supplements you take go straight into the poo. And we're talking about intracellular, not the plasma deficiency. You know, like a lot of patients that we send to the doctor and they say, check for deficiency, and we tell them we need to have full blood intracellular deficiencies. Well, they just test it in plasma, and your body will regulate the plasma at all times to optimum values. So it leaches the calcium and the zinc and everything out of your bones, out of your organs, into the blood to make it look perfect. And they come back with top values, everything is perfect, everything is great. And then you check intracellular, and they are fully depleted. And that's where problems come in. So we cover what kind of test, what you have to demand from your doctor in order to have proper results. Everything is in there. Now let's just say you come back with very low zinc levels. Now we all know that zinc is very related to cancer, and if you don't have enough zinc, you can't get better. Your immune system, your white blood cells cannot kill cancer cells. There is like lots of issues related to zinc deficiencies. In Australia, almost everybody is deficient. Some of our cancer patients who spend a fortune in clinics come back from the clinic and are still beyond the red. You know, like green, like we saw in the chart, yellow, a little bit dangerous, red, dangerous, and they are off chart in the red. So they're completely deficient in zinc, selenium, magnesium, iodine, and then you wonder why they don't get well. Well, it's pretty obvious why. So what we've done here, when you have a deficiency, we've covered like all the different reasons why you need them, what it actually does. Then we cover implications of zinc, what causes problems with them, supplementation, how you can supplement it, absorption, how it can be increased, absorption inhibitors. So for example, excess sugar intake, insufficient stomach acid will prevent you from taking it up. So we need to repair those first in order to actually have a zinc increase if it's not given IV. And then synergistic nutrients. Like if you don't have enough vitamin E, B6, D and E, well then you can't hold it. And then it will just wash out again. So there is plenty of things that a doctor can miss. And that's why this program is really, really designed to take us through and understand what is all related to your deficiencies, to your dietary program, to your digestive program, how you assimilate and uptake, and then all the treatments. Again, I just covered very short because we don't have that much time. It's going to take us 2 days to get through this. But preparation. You know, there is a huge amount of preparation for you to do to actually assimilate your nutrients in the body. And that's, by cell membrane permeability. Then you can use all the nutrient factors like enzymes, like stomach HCl, like bile salts, and what you can do to increase that. Then we have all the inflammatory diet to take down your inflammation, because that will prevent you instantly from absorbing any kind of nutrients. And healing diet, nutrient assimilation, gut repair, it's all there. And then we cover all the different types of treatments and how you can support that in a very fast way or ongoing at home in a very gentle form. So every area, deficiencies, infections, and I spoke about that already in regards to all the different, Lyme's disease here. We have the different tests, what kind of cancers it's very often related to. And then we have all the causes that suppress your immune system so that you can actually get the virus in the first place. And then all the treatments with all the details, how you use it, what kind of device is suitable, what kind of home device is suitable, and how you apply it in great detail to deal with that virus first before you start boosting your immune system and actually heal the body. Toxicity, we know that it's a massive amount of toxicity that has increased. And if we just look here at the sample chart, it's like that's one of the best charts I've seen, and that's still very high in aluminum. Then we have high silver, we have high cadmium. Mercury isn't actually too bad. And then we have a high lead content. Some people are way off the chart in the red with their mercury silver, for example, as a combination. And it's always individually different, and it always correlates with your supplements, with your nutrients. If you don't have zinc, you cannot detoxify mercury. If you don't have selenium, you cannot detoxify aluminium. So all of that is always protagonist and antagonist related to each other. So just looking at the toxin levels doesn't really help you if you don't know how to support that. Again, we've done all the work and it's all easy. Let's say we want to get rid of aluminium. Then we have here the toxic effect, which shows you side effects, all the problems that you can have, all the sources, how you can uptake it and increase levels. Chelation of aluminium, what is all required to support chelation, and then all the detoxification pathways that are required to be active in order to make that work, so that you get your aluminium levels down. And we've done that for everything, whether that's lead, all the supportive factors, for all of them. That alone is worth its weight in gold, because it will guide you on a very significant way of healing, truly healing the problem, instead of just treating the cancer. And that doesn't go away as long as you haven't resolved the real problem. Okay, detoxification, again, preparation, kidney support, PMF, liver support. If you look just liver support, we have phase 1 liver support, phase 2 liver support, and then supplementation. So there is a lot in there. And as I said, every subject has then articles, has knowledge, has video clips, has charts in it. And it's very, very easy to follow step by step through. As it's 8 subjects, if you would make an appointment with one of our Truly Healed coaches or health practitioners, they take you through either in blocks of 2 each, so you have 4 appointments, or you would do 8 very thorough ones. If you have very advanced stage, you have multi-cause problems, like you have digestive problems, you have concentration problems, you have hormone problems, it would actually pay to make 8 appointments to go through everything thoroughly, and through that develop a treatment protocol that completely kicks everything into gear that will heal your body. And that's what this whole thing is about. And we've added a lot of scientific research. We've added links that are all related to all the research studies that prove that these actually, our claims work. Because we don't want to go on those hype treatments and, just sell Laetrile and your cancer will be cured. Rubbish, it won't. And we know hundreds of people who have daily infusions and still don't get better because the problem has never been addressed. And that's what we do here. So toxicity, inflammation, a very big one. And again, we've covered here all the different types of treatments that you can do, all the different tests that are related to which kind of inflammation, causes, and types of inflammation. Gut health, again, gut health. you know, one size fits all. Everybody should eat vegan, vegetarian. Everybody should eat GAPS diet, or, you know, any of the paleo diet. And now, you know, we go into completely ketogenic diet. That cures every cancer. Is that true? I've had a client that I sent to a clinic, and they started, or he went to a clinic, and they started to put him onto a ketogenic diet, high fat diet. Really great. We have such great success with our patients. You know, in 4 weeks, we start to reduce the cancer, and it really works well. He had no gallbladder. Well, he can't digest fat. He had constant diarrhea, inflammatory bowel disease. There was like massive amounts of problems. And what was the issue? When he got onto the ketogenic diet, high fat consumption, no carbs, no vitamins, no nothing, huge amounts of supplements so that this guy didn't fall over. And he had constant diarrhea for 4 weeks while he was in the clinic. You know what they said? Oh, it's just transitionary until you get well. We need to bring in common sense. There are different diets, and if we go down into treatments, you can see that there is you know, the right diet for problem, for dysbiosis. We have fermented foods. If there is big bacterial problems, and you find that in the stool test. Then we have food sensitivities where we do an elimination diet. Leaky gut, we have elimination and GAPS diet very often if there is not a high fat problem. And then we look at juicing for detoxification and nutrification. And then toxicities, green juices, an IBD, inflammatory diet, low sugar diet. You know, I can't say one diet fits all. We have so many vegan vegetarians coming to us who have no amino acids. They are completely low in all B vitamins, and they hardly function. They have impairments in their methylation because of that, because they haven't taken or been given the right supplements. So if you go onto an extreme diet, as we call it, you need to have the knowledge and the education how to balance that out with supplements, with extreme regimes, so that you don't deplete instead of increase your energy. So all of that is covered. And then we have for leaky gut even a separate treatment, because it's a very, very common process and protocol. Now in mental health, same thing, stress, how to deal with different forms of stress, symptoms of stress, and then you can see excess cortisol, adrenal exhaustion, all the problems that we had before. Then we have a hormonal system overload, all the symptoms, very easy to go through with the patient, check whether that fits their parameters, and then look at all the causes of stress, how to resolve them, what is their mindset, where is that problem that triggers that stress factor, and then treatments on how to resolve them. Again, we've combined the best of all worlds, and not just say, oh, that's a complicated patient. You know, sometimes it's just a vitamin deficiency or oil deficiency of omega-3 oils in the brain to actually get this patient relaxed and get mellow, or to get out of chronic depression, anxiety, and chronic fatigue. All covered to prevent stress. So again, if we look at active treatments, there is plenty. Changing beliefs, then we have energy treatments, then we have herbs and supplements, learning to deal with certain issues of life, and then we have the challenging, learn to love your problems in order to actually change that outcome. I'm not going to go through all of that, but you'll see in organ health we cover everything from pancreas, kidney. Kidney is a detox organ, and if you check all the symptoms, a lot of people have that problem. So how do I support? What are the causes that I have to avoid? What are the tests to actually check whether my kidneys work properly? And then if all the symptoms are correct, well, then you have to test and confirm, because you get yourself a basis. And this is one thing that I love. If I know I'm right now here, and let's just take something simple, iodine deficiency. I'm in the red and I'm at 92. I should be, to get into the green, at 180. So how do I bring it up? These are the synergistic factors. This is what I can do. This is what I need to take away out of my life in order to not deplete that iodine even further. So that's my protocol, and I have a full-on treatment protocol, and then I start doing that. 3 months later, I check, and if my values have improved, well, I can say I have a success, because that's one of the most important elements to deal with thyroid or hormonal cancers. Again, that's just one example. We do that with all organs, with every single issue that you might have, and repair them. And what we've discovered over the last 3 years, since we implement this very, very drastically, patients improve constantly. You know, like it's not getting rid of the cancer in a very short time. It's actually they improve, they feel better, their concentration improves, their stamina, their energy goes up, their skin clears up, all of their little ailments go away. Then they start repairing their skin, their gut. As the gut repairs, their nutrient uptake is going up. And all of a sudden you have a patient that reduces in tumor load without ever having treated the tumor. Now, in some cases, that's not possible. We need to treat the tumor at the same time in order to reduce the amount that they have because it's too progressed. But it's parallel to the cancer treatment. We need to resolve the causes. And that's what this program is about. So we have all the organs, and then we have, as the last chapter, and we'll do that on the last day, we cover all the cancer treatments. And you see we have divided them into immune modulating, like boosting, like certain kinds of mushrooms and GCMAP. We've covered when they work, how they work, which kind of cancer, what their predominant factors are. Then we have natural anti-cancer treatments, and you see they're very long. Again, we've covered them with research, what kind of cancers they are covered to, what kind of supplemental support they need to actually work, and which combinations work really great. For example, fever with artemisia is 50 times stronger than either of the both. So how to combine that and to improve, it's all in there. And then we have energy medicine, medical treatments, and all the accompanying treatments, you know, like getting rid of toxins, lymph drainage, chiropractic, alignment of spines. So it's all there. Now that's what we will teach during our workshops, and that's 2 full days, and you will learn probably more than you ever expected, because it's a very complex disease, and that's where we bring in another added factor. And that's something that I'll just show you very short. Let me just slide the chart away underneath so that we see that splash screen here very easily. Now we've created an iPad app. So you have an iPad, you load the app, and as you load it, you have in the second screen, you have the login. And then you get from those who have finished the course, who have studied the course and have qualified, then you are Truly Heal Coach or Truly Heal Health Practitioner or Truly Heal Clinic. We have 3 differentiations: those who coach and guide the patient through the process, those who actually can do the test and can run through the whole program with them, and then clinics who provide the services and treatments as well. Now, if you have finished your course in any of those 3, then you get the protocol and you get the app and a full-on training for the app. And that allows you to log in, even with colleagues. So if you have 3 doctors in the team and you enter a client, all 3 doctors have constant access to all clients and can see how the protocol evolves. Now, as we go to the next screen, you've logged in, then you see all your clients. And this is just a mock-up screen because we're just in the process of entering all the data. And then you have a client data. Now, in that client detail, you have here a picture, and you know, with the iPad, you can take the picture of the patient, male, female, name, diagnose, and problems. And then you have on the right side here, everything while you go through the program and you test all the different areas, which is flagged. And you have certain types of flag. Not yet checked is actually in the beginning everything. And then as you go through the program, you look at symptoms, you look at tests, and then you look at the results. Then you can say this area is okay, no problems. Alarm, this area is completely out of whack and needs to be dealt with. And this area is in treatment now, and this one is resolved. There are certain areas that you actually have been working on and they get better. You mark them with resolve because it shows you the success that you have on your journey. And then you can print all of that. So if I flag alarm. Everything that is alarm, I just turn that on, turn all the others off. Then I see on the right-hand side everything that needs to be dealt with. If I turn on my notes, and I'll show you that in a moment, then all the notes will be visible as well. And then as you click on Client Chart, you actually move on to the same thing as we've seen in here with our maps, cancer treatments. We have here now inflammation, deficiencies, toxicity, infections, hormones, gut health, organ health, mental health, and cancer treatments. So all of those will be listed, and they unfold in the same way as I can open and close this here. I can in the same way open and close it in the app. So if we come back here and I click on, let's say, inflammation, then that would open up. It stands up here, and the sub-menu of inflammation would be then underneath. If I go even a step further, I have tests for inflammation, thermography, for example, as the next one, and I move on. Then I see here inflammation, test for inflammation, thermography, and to find estrogen. Now, I told you that you can flag, and you can do that from every subject that you're in. Everything that you observe with the patient, you click on the headline, and then it opens up notes. So you type in observation, very strong inflammation in left breast. You can actually take a picture and add that to the notes of the patient. Then you can say, okay, this area is in alarm, and you write your notes, and then you save that or print it out. So it's very easy to go through. And if we just go back to this beginnings chart, if you would list here everything that is alarmed, you would see then your notes, and you see the chart here at the side. So that's very, very practical and very convenient. And you can just go through the whole chart. You can browse down to all the nitty-gritty like we did here. If we have here certain areas that unfold very deeply, like into 5 levels, all of those are here with images, with texts, with graphs, with videos. We've implemented some of the videos that you can actually get an explanation. For example, chelation is not an easy process. So what do you need to look out for? What are the tests that need to be done before? Because if we do a chelation with you and you're lacking in zinc and selenium, for example, that could be very, very dangerous. So we need to get all those informations first, and then we do the chelation process. And all that at your fingertips in an app, and then you can even share it with your colleagues or with your other doctors. And that's quite easy. Like you have one specialist for diet, you have one specialist who is for infections and hormone issues, the other one looks for all the treatments, and then they have an overview, and everybody is informed about the patient and can see all the areas that are flagged. All right? Now that's to come in the first week of March. So when we do our workshop, we should have the app already with us. Our first coaches and clinics who are already finished with the program will get it straight away. And if you would like to join, then this is your chance. This protocol, and I've made myself a promise, is not just selling yet another way of how certain doctors cure cancer with great success. This is actually a roadmap for every health practitioner around the world to deal very, very intelligently with every patient, to find what's wrong, how to resolve it step by step, and then to get the patient well on all levels, mental, physical, and, spiritual. Like Dean Ornish said, give a person the tools to live a successful life, help them to balance all their body systems, and they can only thrive. And that's what truly heal means. We bring you back into an equilibrium that can help you to thrive and to enjoy a very proper and healthy life. All right? And now come to one of our workshops. They will be in New Zealand. We have one at the South Island, North Island in Auckland. Then we have one in the Gold Coast. Towards the end of the year, we'll have another one in Perth and in Melbourne, but we just couldn't fit them in. Then we'll be in Hawaii, and afterwards in San Diego at the Natural Health Conference. Then we have a workshop in LA, in Anaheim, to do a 2-day workshop for all health professionals and health practitioners who would like to learn about the program. And then we move into New York and have in Manhattan a workshop where we do the same thing in 2 days. 2 days is tight, but as you can see, it's so well structured, it's so logical, and it's all concentrated towards dealing with cancer that you will gain so much out of that workshop that it will be very clear. Now, a last word. I know this video turns very long. I don't want patients who start out fresh and have no clue about health to come. If they are interested to learn about this, send someone to our workshop that has a basic understanding of health. If you just come, it's going to be way too overwhelming. So send a health practitioner, send a friend, send a naturopath, send a nutritional doctor, someone that you work with. Send them to the workshop. You will have tenfold more of it than if you come yourself and then only get half of it because it's way too advanced. This is a workshop for health professionals of any form, whether it's a chiropractor, a nurse, or someone who is already familiar with lots of the expressions and words and understandings of the different body functions. So if you are a patient, rather send someone or take someone with you that can take notes, that helps you to memorize and understand it all, than just come on your own and then be completely overwhelmed. All right? Thanks for listening, and I'm looking forward to meet you all and to change how cancer is treated in this world.